Hi there, this is Rosemary, and this is the Lightwalker's Path podcast. I'm your host and guide to find your soul's purpose and hear enlightened conversation and inspirational guests like today's wonderful guest, Dr. Dan Rubin. Known as Dr. Dan, he's a transformational speaker, author, founder of the Senior Empowerment Project, dedicated to helping people live with great purpose, joy, and significance in all stages of their life. He's a Harvard graduate, NYU PhD, former senior scientist at the National Cancer Institute, retired college professor, bringing vitality and energy to a lifetime of wisdom and experience. And I had the wonderful pleasure of meeting Dr. Dan previously, and I thought he was outstanding. So, welcome, Dr. Dan. How are you?
Well, thank you very much, Rosemary. It's an honor, and I'm feeling so grateful just to be here as your guest and looking forward to our conversation.
I'm so excited to speak to you because of your background and your lifetime of wisdom and information that you've gathered. So, a couple things. I know that you have a wonderful book called Living with Purpose. So, you can show your book. There you go. So, my question for you is what is kind of like the top way that you've discovered where your purpose is and how you found it? What would you say about your purpose?
Well, it's not as simple and straightforward as you might think, because some of my journey, even to me, is kind of mystical and magical. About 2 years ago, gratitude came to me, and it's become an integral part of my life. It's my smile, and once that process started, a lot of other things started coming to me. And one of them is, why am I here? What's my purpose?
Mhm.
And suddenly I kind of latched onto that, and people were saying, well, you've got all this vitality and energy. Uh, you should speak to seniors because there's this resignation amongst many of them that, they're too old, they can't learn anymore, they're just putting in time. And I said, okay, if this is my purpose, I'm going to pursue it. And I started doing that, and magic happens. Like meeting someone by the name of Rosemary uh, to invite me to. Well, my exposure makes a difference to me.
Yeah,
We all have a purpose.
yeah,
This is one of the things I've learned. We all have a purpose, and it's uniquely ours. And
yeah.
that means there's a unique group of people out there waiting for you to show up, waiting for me to show up, to do whatever I'm supposed to do and make a difference in their lives.
I love that. I think we're so aligned in that understanding is that the right people are the ones that will find it, and the people that need to hear the message will come across it. And it's part of, I believe, like how consciousness works and how when you put out that energy, it's going to be found by the people who are ready to hear it. So I love that you have that, and I love the gratitude. So tell me a few things that you're really grateful for in your life.
Well, I'm 87 and I'm blessed with this energy and vitality. So I wake up every morning just grateful for that. And one of my talks is on gratitude, to clarify how easy and simple it is to adopt that as a practice. It can make a difference. So I wake up just grateful to be alive. My heart's still beating. I'm still breathing. The sun came up. And then there's all these wonderful things happening in my life also. The people are showing up like nothing is a coincidence. And I'm aware and awake to that. And when I notice who and what comes, I call it like this is a gratitude moment for me with you.
Love that. Love that. Yeah, I start the day very similar to you. Like I wake up and I say, thank God I'm healthy. I thank God for my health. I'm so grateful for, my energy and how I'm feeling and how I can affect people. And I always start with, let me be a channel of blessing and light to anyone I speak to. Let me help
Wow.
them shift into their vibration the way that they need to so that they can go on with their life. And it just happens, my clients will come to me or someone will call or I get a coincidence. And then I know, okay, my angels and guides are there. I'm good.
Well, it just takes awareness.
Yeah,
Okay, and
absolutely.
when it comes to gratitude, it's even the little things. I
Yeah.
mean, the little things that just show up, and when you're noticing, this may sound silly, but I really am grateful when I get all the green lights
Oh yeah,
because
I do
because for me it's a message like I'm on the right track. I'm
that.
on the way to do whatever I'm supposed to be doing.
Right.
And I went beyond that, and this may sound strange, but I also trust the red lights because
Uh-huh.
that means whoa, stop,
Yes.
reflect, think
Yes.
about where you are, take a few deep breaths or whatever.
Yes. Yeah,
But they're the little things, just a smile or saying thank you to somebody. They're just powerful, powerful
I believe.
things
You know,
that
it's
you.
what you were saying about the red light thing. So I always thought, I'm never upset in traffic because I always think that I'm protected from something ahead. And I remember the day I was going down the highway and there was two motorcyclists and they were speeding. And I said a prayer for them because I knew one of them was going to die like very soon. And they're going past me and about, I guess, 50 yards ahead, one of them gets hit with an SUV. Like it was really tragic.
Oh my
Paid
goodness.
for them, but I'm like, oh my God, I was telling him in my mind, please slow down, please slow down, please slow down. And I knew that if I was going quicker, I would have been right there at that accident site. So I was given like the warning to it's okay that you're paused here because we're protecting you from what's right ahead of you. And like I always feel that way is that these delays have purposes, and I think that's how I live my life. You have to be very aware of the information coming in.
That's the key, or one of the keys. You have to show up for one thing,
Yeah.
uh, but awareness allows you to notice these not just big things like the accident you could have been in, but little things too. There's so many that I just find myself saying thank you all day long for just little things. Just
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I do that. I love doing that. And like, at the supermarket, say hi to somebody that looks like they might be having a hard day. I thank the cashier, especially if she's like in a bad mood, like, oh, thank you for your service today. Because I think people need to hear it. And I know people don't get that enough in their life. So I think it's a good thing. Through your years of medical and things, I know you worked with cancer. I know you worked with science a lot. I know there's a very strong mind-body connection with epigenetics and with Bruce Lipton and all these brilliant people. What is your take on how emotion affects health or people's what the emotions they hold? Do you find that there's a correlation?
Well, you can go all the way back to what was it, Doctor? What's his name? The one who started wearing a clown nose and visiting people.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, doctor. Yeah,
Well, he started. I mean, laughter is a thing. Laughter is healing. But
yeah.
in my own case, this is a true story. I have a secondary mission now besides the empowerment project. Um, Friday the 13th, I was admitted to the hospital with a serious heart rate.
Oh,
And they plugged me in and started the drug that lowered my heart rate so my heart didn't explode. And
yeah.
then the protocol required me to be admitted to what they call secondary ICU.
Okay.
The next day was Valentine's Day.
Oh,
And I no coincidence,
yeah.
I was discharged, I'm driving home and pow, my current mission or secondary mission came to me, and it's so simple. So I was going to wear the T-shirt. I just make people smile. All I have to do is show up,
Yeah.
and people smile. And in the grocery store, I'll see someone, a woman pushing her cart, and she's smiling. I'll say, it's like saying things. I say that's a really pretty smile.
Mhm.
And it's like I've knocked them over. They just said, "Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, those little." So my smile is connected to happiness. I
Yeah.
just One of the people who showed up in my life recently is a guy who started a happiness movement, and
Okay.
he's asked me to be an ambassador for the
Oh,
happiness movement. Well, shorten your answer to your question, I tied the two together.
hmm
The smile is the action. The
hmm
emotion that results is happiness. They're
hmm
like two peas in a pod.
Yes, yeah, I love that. So you're talking about your empowerment project. So tell me about this project. Like, what is the focus of that, and where do you do it? Is it for speaking? Is it for the seniors group, or is it just generally for anyone that? you see?
Well, it no, it was designed to give me a presence, on the internet and visibility for the past 2 years, partly because of my age and this gift of vitality. I've been going to speak
Mm-hmm.
at most of the over 30 assisted living facilities here in Central Florida,
Hmm.
and my message is the best is yet to come. Don't give up. Don't think you're too old on any of that nonsense. And I'm here if you need it. I will coach you. I will help you find your purpose if you don't know what it is. I will encourage you to create a living legacy that's a gift to your children and grandchildren, people beyond. And in the process of doing that, you will find out that you make a difference.
Love
all
that.
these all these people make a difference,
I
no matter what their condition is. And
Yeah,
that's my message in these senior communities. And I want to expand it to larger audiences and people that still have a lot more life left.
yeah.
That's why I created a living legacy uh project, actually.
I love that. How could people find that? Like
With the live
if they want to find a link to you to book you for that particular service,
Oh,
what is your
okay.
web
Yeah,
address?
well, my website is my name. It's
Okay.
danielrubin.net.
DanielRubin.net. So I'm going to put
Yep, yep.
description to
And that will take you to my website. My email is daniel@danielrubin.net.
nice and
Um, and the website will show my book. It describes who I am and what I do in the way of getting booked to speak or to purchase my book, or for people who want to get a free 30 to 60 minute coaching consultation. It's all there.
I love that. I love that. What are you most proud of in your life that you've done? Is there, it's probably a lot of things at this point, but what like makes your heart just sing that you did?
Well, I'm having my children.
Hmm.
Uh, Along the way, this is another whole story. I delivered two babies.
Oh,
It was a miracle. I don't know who or where they are.
oh.
Um, I think I'm proudest at the journey that I'm on now. That's got me suddenly aware of I am important. I make a difference, and most importantly, the key is I have to be myself.
Hmm. You're
And
authentic.
that's an incredible journey for everybody who wants to, and it's not for everybody because it's not easy to really go beyond all that conditioning that we had growing up to underneath all that's like who you really are, because that's when you can give your just by virtue of being you're a gift to the world. Anybody showing up in your life, and that
Yeah,
could be from the cashier at the grocery store to anyone.
I love that. I really love that. I know you also had an extensive career in medical, and you had something you developed through your through the Cancer Institute. Did you want to speak on what that was? I think you were talking about radiation or some.
Oh, yeah. Well, I just got a chill. And that is certainly something I'm proud of. I was given a wonderful opportunity. I left research, and I was the special assistant to a very well-known, famous physician who started the cure for childhood leukemia. I was his special assistant,
Mhm.
and he was I hate to say this, he was like Machiavelli incarnated, but I was his confidant. He trusted me. He asked for my advice on things. So there came a time when all the grant contract programs had major managers, and there was a radiation oncology program, and he didn't want to give it to the guy in line.
Hmm.
So he came to me and he said, Daniel, I want you to take this job. I want you temporarily, I want you to be acting director of radiation oncology. Well, that opened this door for me to the entire radiation therapy community. And radiation therapists, like no other group, are dedicated to only treating cancer and giving people a quality of life while they do it. So
Right.
I was meeting with them all around the world and getting knowledge and experience and representing my director, representing the United States, really.
Hmm.
Um, and this happened after I left. And one of the things I helped initiate, there were two of them, the particle therapy program, which is now a big deal,
Oh,
and radiation sensitizers, which are drugs which help selectively focus the radiation. Okay.
oh, that's amazing.
So this was a program initiative that we started. I became kind of a liaison facilitator. And after I left the Cancer Institute, I was invited by a well-known physician in Italy. I was a guest of the Italian government.
Oh, yeah,
Well, they recognize. I didn't think about it. I just do what I do, and
yeah, yeah.
it was the first time. I'm really proud of that. I was recognized
Right.
for my contribution to the creating and growth of this whole radiation sensitizer program, which is, an adjunct to radiation therapy to make it more safe and less dangerous and more effective in the treatment of cancer.
I love that. After losing so many friends to cancer and my parent, my father and my sister, I'm so glad that there's different changes that have happened through time that makes it more extending life for people now that are hit with this terrible disease. So that's a beautiful thing that you were involved with.
Can I just mention one piece of gratitude about that? You
Mhm.
know, at least my experience, when I look back on my life, I discovered what a lot of things that happened were about.
Mhm.
And it turns out that I was um, the person who facilitated my mother getting diagnosed with lung cancer.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was on a visit home and she had a little cough, and I said, you ought to see somebody. I was on a trip, and by the time I got to Albuquerque, she was diagnosed with lung cancer. And all of this connection with the radiation therapy community that I had,
Yes.
one of my best friends in Philadelphia
Hmm.
said, "We'll take on your mom. We'll take care of her."
Wow.
And that in itself was the larger reason, I think, why I did all the other stuff, is to
Right.
have that opportunity
Help her.
to get my mom treated and a couple of years of fairly good quality of life. And that
Beautiful.
that that in itself was a gratitude moment of great magnitude.
It's interesting. We had a discussion, and I know, like, I'm a Reiki master teacher, and we talked about that you were aware of Reiki and you've done it. And I think that's cool because when my father was going through his prostate cancer, I remember working on like above his area, with my hands, and he required no painkillers after surgery. I worked on my sister after surgery. I worked on myself before and after surgery. No painkillers needed at all. And I'm like, this is incredible. So I want to ask your opinion or something that you have experienced through energy medicine that other people might be surprised to know. Because I've trained a lot of people in the medical field too, and they may not talk about it, but it's out there now in a lot of the hospitals.
Where there's been so much in the way of advancement in alternative medicine. Years ago, I used to go to an annual conference in South Carolina at Hilton Head of an association that was dedicated to alternative medicine. And way back then, they one of the messages they put out was traditional medicine in the United States is going to be just emergency medicine. And the real medicine is going to be light and music and all these other, and it's happening, and not in a great pace, but the big breakthrough really is in understanding your mind. Neuroscience is taking over in understanding so much of how we exist, and it's a route. They're going to find cures for PTSD, for example, with
Yeah.
with neuroscience, and that's the to me that's the ultimate. That's the ultimate that's going to happen over time. Is more and more disease
Mhm.
is going to be uh, cured or treated or prevented by these alternative means, and the greater understanding that we have
Yeah.
about how our brain works, and the energy in your that we all have. The Reiki was translated into touch for health by nurses. They
Yeah,
didn't realize for hundreds and hundreds of years, when they touch a patient, they're getting it. And the nice thing,
yeah.
well, you know this better than I. The nice thing about these energy methods is the people receiving it don't have to believe in it.
Don't
They
have.
they just need to be open to receive it.
That's right. That's right. And I think when you're feeling sick, you're like, just do anything you can to make me feel better, right? So true. I love that. It's interesting that you were saying about the light and color. So I channel angels, and I had gotten a channeled message about 15 years ago about light, color, sound, healing, and the forefront and changes that'll be happening in the medical as soon as everybody gets on board and decides to embrace these old modalities that are very healing and helpful and kind of take them out of the woo woo and like join them up with medical as necessary. Even like the Rife machine years ago, right? The frequency and vibration to kill certain pathogens. Like that stuff is amazing to me.
Well, I'm glad to hear your optimism. I believe one of the problems or issues, there's the resistance of the traditional medical community to embrace. Because what's happening, at least where I am and everywhere, there are wellness groups,
Mm-hmm.
uh, people who, I mean, there's red light therapy that
Yes.
activates your mitochondria. So
Yeah.
they're not waiting for MDs to
No.
do this.
Yeah.
The alternative medicine or whatever or healing. It's really alternative healing is
Yes.
taking on such a great momentum, and people taking the various modalities on as their life work. And
Yeah.
the traditional medicine will continue
Mhm.
as it is, but more and more I hope of the traditional medicine group will embrace all this other stuff that because it's complementary. It's not designed to be
No.
a competition.
No, and I think what's really neat, like I actually had one of my clients who his spine doctor, he was going to a spine doctor, he was going to have surgery. The doctor says, don't have surgery, go to Rosemary first. So I worked on him for 3 or 4 sessions, and it alleviated his back pain so much that he didn't have the surgery. But I was sent by his doctor, which I thought was cool. Like, how'd that guy get my name? I don't know. But it was just an interesting connection. So I know that there's times when, I'll do everything I know to help myself. And if I really can't, I'll go get the medicine I need. But I think that's where we're empowered more, that we don't know we're empowered. We can do these other things and try them out and see if it helps us.
Well, I love your examples because I resonate with some of them. I wish I had known you. Um, it's been at least 18 years. I was suffering from sciatica for years and years, no sleep, just unremitting pain. And
Yeah.
finally, I said, I've had enough. So
Mm-hmm.
I went to a neurosurgeon.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I had spinal decompression, my
Mm-hmm.
whole lumbar and sacral spine, and the sciatica went away. But you know what it left? It left me unable to stand up straight and walk.
Oh,
I have to use a walker now to get around.
yeah.
Uh, yeah, my body is not. The pain is gone, but my
Yeah.
body can no longer because of the
Oh,
fusion and all that other stuff. My
yeah.
spine is not structurally capable of
Mm-hmm.
sustaining me unassisted.
Yes. Yeah.
And
Oh my gosh. I blew a disc back in 99 and I was paralyzed to my knee for about a month. I went back to work. I was walking around with, back brace, but I did chiropractor. I did therapy on it. I had it scanned because I said, I wasn't going to do any chiropractor till I was cleared to do it because I wasn't sure if it would hurt me. And the guy says, whatever you're doing, you're healing fast. So after that, I was great. But yeah, it's a sore spot. So every once in a while, if I overdo something or lift something too heavy, it'll act up on me.
well, one of the keys that a lot of people in general don't know about alternative practitioners and the neuroscientists know we have such power in ourselves,
Oh yeah.
and our body knows a lot.
Oh yeah.
Our body has been with us from the beginning.
Yeah.
It's stored every single one of our experiences. And
Things.
when I get pain somewhere, and I'm at the stage where pain does show up from time to time, I will stop and I'll speak to it. This may sound weird. I'll say, "What's the message?" Instead of just trying to do something to make it go away,
Yes.
I'll say before I take an aspirin or whatever, I'll say, "Hey, what's the message here? What are you trying to tell me?"
Yes.
And sometimes I get a message, and our body does speak. And as someone like who does Reiki and any kind of hands-on thing, you're in the same ballpark. It's like going to where the problem is,
Mm-hmm. That's
and at
true.
the energy level, you're lifting up the bad stuff and leaving the healing stuff. And it's a wonderful gift that you have.
Yeah, yeah, it's funny because when I do my talks, I talk about like where your body holds the pain means something. Like the back is support system. So when it's down the bottom part, it means you didn't feel supported in some part of your life, and it'll cause a weakness. Or like the shoulders, I'm burdening too much from other people. So different areas of the body hold different consciousness things. And I think when we're more aware, like you're saying, awareness, when you ask your body, what are you holding there? You get an answer sometimes, even if you're like,
Yes, yes.
but the body's cells are so conscious. So yeah, I totally love that you're so aware and it's amazing.
Well, that's one of the big things I'm grateful for is because without the awareness, so many people, I hate to say this, but so many people are still living what I call on autopilot. They got conditioned by well-meaning parents and teachers and clergymen, and they got this. It's what Jung said. The persona, but underneath the persona, there's this true self waiting to be discovered, and
Yes.
it means letting go a lot of that stuff
Yeah.
that you got when you were 2 or 3 years or 5 years old.
I love
Yeah.
that. I really I love the way you think, and I'm so glad that you're out there because you have such credibility as an extremely brilliant person and a doctor that people are going to listen because it's not just out there in cyberspace. It's like who you are and what you're bringing. So I really thank you for being who you are and authentically you because that's
Well, you're helping me with a very important thing in that regard, and I'm really grateful for your invitation. And that's exposure. I need to be more visible, and more people see and I'm not being selfish about that. We all have that capability, and a lot of people are afraid to get out there and do and be what they're supposed to do and be. And unfortunately, there are people waiting for them that they don't know. Now,
yes.
well, you're Casey. You're taking those steps. You're thinking bigger, okay, and you're getting more and more people to understand.
Mhm.
Because that what I would say, you have so many gifts, Rosemary, and one of them that you may have not thought of, you are creating more awareness by what you do. This podcast is an avenue for greater awareness on the part of your audience, whoever they are, and you may have skeptics listening or people going, "Oh, I don't need that," or whatever. I just take my pills every day and I'm fine. Well, that's okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a choice, right? Free will.
Yes, it is. It is.
Love that. So this is the end of our show, believe it or not. That went by so fast. This has been the Lightwalker's Path. Please subscribe. Learn about workshops, sessions, and books. And please reach out to Dr. Dan. He's awesome. So you can check about him in the bio that I'll be posting. And you've been a pleasure. So thank you so much for being here.
I am so grateful. Thank you, Rosemary. I really appreciate the opportunity, and I won't mind saying I hope sometime down the road you'll invite me back because there's so much we have in common to talk about that's going to have an impact on the people listening. So thank you so much. It's been an honor and a privilege to be here with you.
An honor to have you on. Thank you from my heart.